A warm welcome back to the morning show right here on ENCA, and it's TMS Sports on a good food Wednesday. I'm pretty sure you did see that we've got Nelisiwe Mape and Bulele Podisa in the kitchen cooking something up. We'll get back to them a bit later on. But right now, what is cooking in the world of NBA? This is what we call slam dunk right here on the morning show, because this is where we chat all things to do with basketball things. And this morning, I'm joined by our NBA analysts, none other than Shongwe and Koketso Kgogome. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
Are you guys well? I mean, firstly, listen, did you guys wake up well? Because, it was just in the morning when the Lakers were playing. So I don't know how you guys, how's the energies feeling like this morning?
I think the question is, did we actually sleep?
Did you actually sleep?
Because the Lakers are taking on the Warriors. It's one of the, I guess, storied rivalries in recent years.
100%.
It's become quite that kind of atmosphere. And you saw LeBron James pull out a win with the Los Angeles Lakers this morning, away from home at the Chase Center. So it was amazing to watch.
I mean, we are talking about the NBA, and more specifically, as we are saying, we are chatting all things to do with the Lakers and the Grizzlies, which is the team that they took on just before they started their series right now with the Golden State Warriors. And to say the least, the way that series took place, the way it happened, all I can say is that there was a lot of drama. There was a lot of drama between the Lakers and the Grizzlies. And it ended with a post by LeBron James on Instagram. And this, of course, followed right after the match. And this is exactly what LeBron James said. Well, that's the post of him. And the caption at the bottom does say that if you find me in the woods with the bear, you better look out for the bear. Don't come for me. Protect the bear, not me. And of course, this is him, translate to the fact that the Grizzlies. I want to touch on the Grizzlies themselves. Let's start off with you, Boo. I mean, we're looking at this Grizzlies side. They finished second in the Western Conference. Do you think maybe they were a bit, very complacent, or were they overconfident coming up against this Lakers side, seeing how poor the Lakers side have been throughout the season?
The late great Kobe Bryant, Lakers legend, right? Yeah. He loves that quote. If you see me in a fight in the forest with the bear, pray for the bear. Sure. I think in this case we need to pray for Dillon Brooks. Okay?
100%.
Because he poked the wrong bear clearly, and I think 100%. That crown is still on LeBron James's head. He's the king, and you poke the king. This is what happens, right? I think, as far as the Grizzlies are concerned, they beat off more than they could chew. They had a couple of issues in the season. Of course, Ja Morant was suspended with that gun incident in the club, was away from the team for a lengthy period of time, came back, got going. He's a superstar, of course, but it didn't quite happen for them. We know Jared Jackson Jr. is a defensive player of the year, but still, it didn't quite happen and pan out the way that they want. The Grizzlies need to put their head down and start working, right? The chatter, the chirping, the talking, the trash talk, that's not going to help them. We've seen with Dillon Brooks what happens when you talk too much. But I think they're a good team still, one of the best teams in the Western Conference and the NBA. They're going to get it done eventually.
I mean, Koketso, let's come to Dillon Brooks, because, as Boo mentioned Dillon Brooks. And you're looking at it, Dillon Brooks as an individual who, said so much about building an empire in Memphis. And now he's out the door. He's left the team. The team has let him go. Free agency right now. Rumors are maybe he might be coming back, but why is it happening? The fact that he's, part of the dynasty, but all of a sudden he's walking out.
I think it goes back to the money. Right, this is basketball, it's business, but this is what he does for a living. So yes, as free agency, when you come back, you have a higher chance to earn way more than you would have had you stayed. But you're right, it is a dynasty, and I like the fact that it is a dynasty because I think they are one of the best, youngest teams in the NBA. So for him to come back, I would love that to happen, just to see how far the Memphis Grizzlies could go.
I don't know, what are your thoughts about Dillon Brooks? Because he said so much. I mean, he was one of the ones who poked the bears, as you said, talking about how old LeBron is and how slow he is and how they're going to, inflict some pain on him. Not the best move, clearly, by Dillon Brooks.
Not the best move. And he said, I don't respect anybody until they give me 40.
Well,
what happened?
He gave him 40.
He got 40, right? The other thing with Dillon Brooks, look, at the end of the day, I do think the way the Memphis Grizzlies have handled his situation is a bit unfair. It seems to me like the front office is using him as a scapegoat a little bit, because there's cracks all around that organization, as good as they are, right? Yeah. But I hope he gets another team. He's a guy that averages 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists a game. He's a 3-and-D guy. He plays really great defense. He is a formidable opponent. And he gets under people's skin, but his methods backfire a lot of the time. I think that backfired here. His thing for him, he could take a 1-year deal with a different team, put his head down and get to work so that he can get the extension that he wants. The expectation for him and his agency this season was that he was going to get a lengthy extension, and obviously the money wasn't going to get affected. But, you poke LeBron James.
You're poking the wrong
Wait, did you say
poking
you want him to leave?
Hey?
You want him to go to another team?
No, I don't. He's going to another team anyway because he's been
be
released by the team. What I'm saying is that he needs to put his head down, get a minimum veteran deal, and start getting to work.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, that was the scoreline right there on your screen, as you can see, of that encounter that happened between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Lakers. But right now, of course, the focus is on the game that took place earlier on today, right? It is between the Golden State and the Lakers. And, you know, I wonder, Boo, as a basketball purist, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about, you know, the reignitement of this rivalry between, you know, Golden State and the Lakers?
You know, I think we're witnessing a moment in time that, you know, only comes generations after.
Sure.
Okay.
LeBron James is a generational talent. Steph Curry, generational talent.
Yeah.
From a popularity perspective, those two players are the leading vote getters in the NBA.
Yeah.
If you go to Soweto, you go to Tembisa, you go to Tsakane, here in South Africa, the jersey that you're most likely to find is a LeBron James jersey, number 6. Jersey that you will most likely to find is a Stephen Curry number 30 jersey, right? Speaks to the popularity and those guys being relatable to the general public.
Yeah.
Look, it's amazing to watch. Game 1 was amazing. The Lakers took it. But I know that the Dubs have that championship pedigree, that championship mentality. You know, they came back against a tough series with De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings, with Sabonis, even with the suspension of Draymond Green in one of the games. So I expect them to bounce back. But we are witnessing a moment in history right now that
100%.
might only come way, way later in time.
Kogi, let's piggyback off that.
Sure.
We're looking at, you know, a big rivalry that is about to take place between these two sides. But you're looking at the Warriors and how they got themselves, you know, to this conference semi-final. They had to take it to Game 7 against the Kings. And, you know, for someone who doesn't, you know, watch basketball too much, when you talk about the Kings, you're talking about a team that usually struggles, you know.
100%.
But in this situation, they had a pretty good season themselves. But did we really expect them to take a series of 7 games against the Golden State Warriors?
100%, like nothing. I'm surprised that they're here, right? Yeah. And okay, let's just start with the series with the Sacramento Kings. The fact that it took Game 7 for the defending champions, you know, to win that series is very unlikely. I was definitely surprised. So now to have them here with the Lakers, I'm like, okay, I thought they were going to win the first game. But, you know, as we and I were talking, it's actually very interesting for the Warriors right now because even the series with the Sacramento Kings, they didn't necessarily lead, right? They were two games down, 100%, right? And now they just lost against the Lakers. And, you know, now predictions are coming in like, oh, what do you think? What do you think? But, guys, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, which team has specialists, like 3-point specialists, which is a very effective skill in the playoffs. We know that. But also, the Lakers had more rest time.
Yeah.
The Warriors just wrapped up the first round. Now they're playing the second round. I think it's very quick to be calling out predictions.
Yeah, and a lot of our friends, the trash talk is starting to happen now. Very good friend of mine, one of the best actors in the country, KCB, a very big basketball fan, very big Lakers fan. Before the game even finished, he's calling this morning. Yeah, you see?
But that's the problem with Lakers fans.
I know.
That's the problem with Lakers fans, right? But let's leave the conversation. Let's park it right there just for now. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation around the world of NBA. But most importantly, we've got a South African team representing us in the Basketball Africa League, which we'll touch on right after this break.